Welcome to Scary Hour, your home for the stories that keep you up at night. Tonight, we're unwrapping for tales of Christmas horror where the holiday spirit is replaced by something much, much darker. Let's begin. Lena loved Christmas, especially the colorful lights she'd strung across her roof. But her festive joy turned to ice-cold dread one night. At precisely 2:13 a.m., the lights flickered on by themselves. Bathed in their eerie green and red glow was a man hopelessly tangled in the glowing wires. He wasn't struggling, he was just hanging there, his body contorted at an unnatural angle. His head was craned towards her window, his eyes wide and fixed directly on her. Lena screamed and fumbled for her phone, her fingers shaking as she dialed 911, but when she looked back up, he was gone. The police arrived, finding nothing on the roof but a few loose bulbs. They checked the attic, just in case. And that's where they found them, a single set of footprints in the thick dust. Leading from the attic hatch to the spot directly above Lena's bedroom window. The problem? There was no way in or out of the attic except for the hatch in the hallway. The footprints simply started, and then they stopped. Lena doesn't decorate for Christmas anymore. She says she can still feel his eyes on her from the roof, waiting for the lights to come on again. Our next story is about Jamie. He was a kind soul, always thinking of others. This year, he'd bought a large, beautifully wrapped gift for a local children's charity drive. He left it by his front door, ready to drop off in the morning. That night, a soft knocking woke him up. It sounded like it was coming from the front door. He checked the peephole, but no one was there. The next night, it happened again. Knock, knock, knock. A little louder this time. He opened the door to an empty porch. On the third night, the knocking was frantic, insistent. But it wasn't coming from the door. It was coming from inside the charity gift. Jamie stared at the box, which had somehow moved a few inches closer to the center of the hallway. He was too terrified to touch it. This went on for a week. Every night the knocking from within the box, and every morning the box was a little closer to his bedroom door. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore. He set up a small camera in the hall. The next day, he reviewed the footage. It was all normal until 3:07 a.m. That's when a tall, slender shadow seemed to pour out from under his front door, slither across the floor, and slip silently into the gift box. Jamie, now trembling with fear, decided he had to know what was inside. He carefully untied the ribbon and lifted the lid. There was nothing in the box. Nothing except a small, folded piece of paper. On it, written in a shaky, desperate hand, were 4 words. Stop opening the door. Nora was walking home on a cold December evening, the snow crunching softly under her boots. The streets were quiet, save for a lone caroler standing under a distant street lamp. His voice was strange, a hollow, echoing sound that didn't seem to carry properly in the winter air. As she got closer, she saw he had no face, just a smooth, blank surface where his features should have been. A chill that had nothing to do with the cold ran down her spine. She quickened her pace, fumbling with her keys, and locked the door behind her. As she leaned against it, her heart pounding, she heard it again, the same hollow singing, but it wasn't outside anymore. It was coming from upstairs. Slowly, she crept up the stairs, the disembodied voice growing louder with each step. It was coming from her bedroom. Pushing the door open, she saw the room was empty. But the singing was right there, as if the singer was standing next to her. Her eyes fell to the floor. Leading from the open window to the middle of the room was a set of wet footprints, identical to the ones she'd been making in the snow. They just stopped. They didn't lead back out. Nora fled the house and never returned. Neighbors say that on quiet winter nights, you can still hear a faint, hollow caroling coming from the empty second-floor window. Our final story is about Derek. He woke up with a start. It was the sound of heavy boots stomping down the hallway. He grabbed the baseball bat he kept under his bed and crept to his door. Peeking out, he saw him. Filthy, grimy Santa Claus, his red suit torn and stained. His jaw was hanging at a grotesque angle, broken and slack. He was standing right outside his son's bedroom, his head tilted as if listening. Derek's blood ran cold when the figure turned its head slowly, its dark eyes finding his in the dim light. A hoarse whisper slithered from the broken jaw. I've already given him his gift. In that exact moment, every light in the house went out, plunging them into absolute darkness. Derek heard a click as his son's bedroom door shut. And then his son screamed. It was a scream of pure, unadulterated terror that was cut off abruptly. Derek never saw his son again. The police found no signs of a break-in, no trace of the twisted Santa. All they found was a single lump of coal on his son's pillow, still cold to the touch. If these stories send a shiver down your spine, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching Scary Hour. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more tales from the dark. Stay safe out there.